Now, selling. If you've done all your work, you've sorted, you've divested, you're ready to go, and now comes the time to sell your house. Now, I have a certain strategy for recommending realtors. And I think the best time to bring on a realtor is going to be about 8 weeks to 10 weeks before you're actually ready to sell. Now, if you called a realtor today, he or she might come over and give you a value on your house. Well, that's today. Real estate changes very quickly. It's based on mortgage rates and, all kinds of other stuff. So you want to have a current, look at what your house might be worth or what you need to do to sell your house. Then the other thing is that if you call a realtor when you've got stuff up to the ceiling, you got stuff everywhere, you're all overwhelmed, that's not going to look like the most attractive job to them, frankly. They're going to think, wow, this family's got a long way to go before this house is ready to sell. I think you have a lot more leverage to negotiate, to be a great client for them when you've got an almost empty house that's ready to sell. So that's what I'll say about that. Now, secondly, with the real estate, this is not the time to hire your niece or your neighbor, unless your niece or your neighbor is a high-performing realtor in your neighborhood. There is a lot of nuance in real estate that can really affect the outcome of your sale. And not only how much you get for your house, but whether or not you go to closing. It's really important that you've got an active realtor working in today's market in your neighborhood. It is extremely local. So I would just highly recommend that you keep the focus on that. And then that said, once you've gone to the trouble of finding somebody who's really reputable and doing great work in your neighborhood, take their advice. If they say you need a new roof, you probably need a new roof. They're going to work with you to decide what kinds of repairs and improvements you're going to need to make your house, to get top dollar for your house. And a good realtor will also have those connections close by in the neighborhood. They don't need a 3-month window to recommend a painter, or a landscaper. They can do that for you, and they don't need forever to do it, So that's where I'm at with that. And then the last thing I would say is that your home's value, just like the value of your china cabinet, it's based on market conditions. So the realtors don't decide how much your house is worth. Obviously, the market decides. And then also, you don't get to decide who buys your house either. People always say, oh, I want a family with a baby. Yeah, that would be great. But no, we don't know. It's on the market. It's out of your hands. And I just say that just to say, incrementally this whole way, the more you can kind of give control over to the people who are getting the work done, the more it's going to be the load off, it's less burden for you to be trying to make decisions about things that you don't really have a choice in the matter, So I would say just overall, keep that in mind and just try to look for ways to eliminate decision-making, because decision-making is what causes all the stress. That said, you're definitely going to need help. I try to help people figure out what they can do themselves. And certainly there are things that you can do yourself or with the help of family members or neighbors or anybody. And I'm more than happy to help people talk through what they can do themselves.